Hey vinyl friends and vinyl community, it's Brian from Brian's Vinyl Records, and I'm here in my office, and this is where I do most of my record listening to throughout the day. It's also where I do all my videos and stuff. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to expand my storage space just a little bit here. So I was going to kind of show what I use and how I do it here with a little video slash picture show. So let me just give you a quick look at what we've got in this office right now as far as what my storage looks like and kind of my listening area. Okay, so if you have followed me on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that, you probably recognize this turntable area here. This is my office turntable. I've got a pretty cool acrylic platter here that I got from Hudson Hi-Fi. This is a Mitsubishi DP12 turntable, so it's a from I think the 80s. I've got an AT95E needle on there, so that's pretty cool. And I'm running that through this old JVC RX12 receiver as well. Okay, sorry about that, I had an interruption. Alright, so this is kind of the shelving unit that I have here. My now spinning stand was built for me by my brother-in-law. He does do more of these, so if anyone is interested in one of these, I can get you in touch with him. He does it in his spare time, so he doesn't necessarily have a whole bunch to do, but he will do it here and there for you, and I think he has a couple that he's got pre-done. So it's a pretty cool thing here. But this is kind of what I have here. I got some wrestling figures, some cassette tapes that I've had leftovers. This over here is the Spin Clean solution, and a light lamp. And then I'm just using a few real simple home audio KLH speakers that were my dad's from way long time ago. So I've got two of those, and I've also got a KLH sub down here. So that's kind of what I've been using as audio in here anyway. A little Bobby Roode entrance. All right, so here's my storage space, and these are not Kalex from IKEA. These are threshold units from Target. And I've got two that are 2x4s, and I stand them upright. You see I did this little hack job here to keep them from tipping over or anything like that. And then down here I've got a little 2x1 that I got to add on to because I don't have a lot of wall space. And I just bought another 2x1 that's going to go here where the printer is, so the printer will get moved up, and I'll have another one so it looks like I have another line in there. So that's what I'm going to be installing in here. But as you can see, I'm getting pretty full on these, and if we take a quick scan around here, I've got a lot of memorabilia here, a lot of wrestling and memorabilia up here, some baseball, Twins stuff, and then my wrestling and music, some music books and things like that over here. This really cool vinyl record clock that my wife got me for Christmas. That's pretty fun. And then I got a viewing area over here. This is microphones. I do record a lot of music in here. My guitar that I wrote all my first and second album on is right there hanging up. Guitar charts. Just wall space. Over here I've got these are my studio monitors here, JBLs, pretty cool. These bottles here are kind of fun. This is different types of beer that my buddy took the labels and created new labels based on the styles with the song titles from my first album. So that was really fun. That was what made the cover of the first album too. So really kind of fun. Got guitars and things down here. Another guitar hanging up there. Some records on the wall. This is a really cool dulcimer instrument. Over here I've got some pictures that were taken, a cool Be Awesome sign, more records on the wall, a ukulele and a mandolin, and then we come right back over here. And then in between there underneath is my workspace and things like that. So that is what I currently have for my setup in my office. Like I said, I do most of my listening throughout the day in here, and then at night I use my main setup for you listening. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on that shelving unit, and then we'll get some photos and stuff in here so you can see the finished product. All these records are going to be reorganized They're all right now in alphabetical order by artist, band, and artist last name and band name. So that's how I do my organization. So down here I've got my cool stacks of 45s in here. So this is where I keep all my 45s. I got some pretty fun stuff here. I got a whole bunch of them from a friend who was just trying to get rid of them. So some pretty fun stuff coming in there. So AC/DC. This one is awesome. This is Prince, Rock and Roll is Alive and Lives in Minneapolis. This was handed out at a Timberwolves game this year. It was in fact handed out at the game right before the one that I went to, but one of my son's friends' parents went to that game and decided to pick it up for me. And then this one here I got for free from the record store crawl, and I just listened to it tonight, and it's actually pretty good. It's a little poppy electronic dance tune, so kind of cool there. Anyway, that's how I got mine set up, and yeah, check out how the installation and things like that go. Stay tuned. Alright, so the shelf is now installed, and as you can see, due to the fact that I have two of these 1x2s on top of each other, this is a little off on the setup. We got a good 2 inches or so difference in height. It is what it is. Not much you can do about that. I don't think they make a long enough one to put just one there. If they do, I'll probably end up buying it at some point. But I did want to share with you how I do things here. So as you see, that all the albums that I have in these shelves, and these are getting a little too tight for my liking. I like to have a little space so that you can see, you can move them in and out here, and that gives breathing rooms to the albums, so I kind of like that. But anyway, you can see they're all flush, and that's just my personal preference. I don't like when one album's deep in and another one's sticking out and stuff like that, so I like them to be a little flush. But these come with a back opening here. So what I do is I buy some of these little shelving pegs, and then you can see on these big units that they come with shelving spots, so you can cut these in half and whatnot. So I'll buy these pegs, and then I buy a big long piece of white shelf, and I cut it up into the right size, and then I just set it there in the back like that. And what that allows is for the albums to press against something in the back, and that means that they won't, be uneven. So if I grab some of these records here, this sweet Allman Brothers record, what you will see is I can just push them in, and now they're all even with each other. So that's kind of how I like to do my records. But the problem is these do not have those pegs. So I take the packaging that came in the box, and you can see here I kind of just wedge it in where I can, and that gives it about the same little space. So I'll usually do a couple of these in here. So this one's got a surge protector to help with the spacing, so I'll just put this in here like so to keep it nice and even, and then that way now my records will fit in there a little better. So that's kind of what I've been doing. They come with these cool little pieces. You can just shove them in there. This one won't work, but just to give you a kind of a feel of what I like to do there. So I'll add a little backing here, so that way they're flush like this, and then what I'll end up doing next is reshuffling these over into that shelf and along in alphabetical order, which is how I catalog all my albums. And then then it'll be done, and I'll have a little more space and room to breathe here to get another couple hundred albums to fit into these shelving units here before I have to think about what the heck to do next, because I'm pretty much out of space. So there you go. That's kind of how I store my albums and stuff like that. Alright, so I have everything now moved and shelved, and as you can see, each of the squares has some breathing room, which will allow for some expansion in the alphabet as new records come in, but also just allow things not to get so compact and squished and hopefully, you know, not bend or break anything. So this is the space now. Pretty cool. Let's get a good shot of everything if I can here. All right. So there you have it. Added the new 2-shelf unit and allowed me to free up a whole bunch of space. But also, it doesn't look like I freed up much space, maybe 1 cube there, but it allowed for the vinyl to be spread out a little better so that nothing is too tight. So there you go. That's what I did for expansion on my collection here. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe, leave a comment, give us a like, and yeah, keep spinning, vinyl friends.